Bonjour à tous, bienvenido a todas y todas. ازيكم عاملين ايه? Hi everyone, my name is Omar and I've been learning languages over the last 5 years. I started with French and Spanish in 2020 and 2022, and today I want to share with you some of the things that I learned along my journey and some of the things that I wish I knew before I started learning. Now I have a bunch of other videos where I talk about language learning, so I'll put the links down below and they should be popping up somewhere over here. So without further ado, let's get right into it. من فضلك أو من فضلك. S'il vous plaît. Por favor. Please, 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 please just start. I promise you, there is no right time to start learning a language. Il faut juste commencer. You just have to start. When I was in university, I would always tell myself, I'll start French as soon as I finish midterm season. Midterm season would finish, and I would tell myself, as soon as finals finish, I'm gonna start. And then the summer holiday would come, and I would tell myself, oh, I wanna enjoy my summer holiday, I'll start learning when the next semester starts. But you see, there will never be a right time to start. So if you have some time on your hands, and you truly want to learn this language, all you have to do is start. And now let me tell you this from now so you don't get surprised and so that you can also have some reassurance. When you first start learning a language, I promise you, it is so normal to feel lost, to feel confused, and to feel overwhelmed. These stages are inevitable. And if someone's ever told you that they've never went through these stages when learning a new language, they're lying to you. Or they already knew the language somehow. Because these stages are inevitable. And now the more we avoid these stages, the longer it will take us to actually learn the language. So go through that. It's okay. You're going to feel lost, overwhelmed. You're not going to know what you're doing. But after a while, it will start to pick up. But the only way to start learning a language is to actually start. Like watching a bunch of YouTube videos about people's journeys or best way to learn the language. All that stuff isn't actually starting. Starting is picking up your notebook and sitting down and writing the first verb, the first word, creating your first sentence. That's actually starting. And that is the only way you'll be able to actually start learning the language. It is by starting. So please take action. And now the second point is that your inputs determine your outputs. And now you want to be intentional with your inputs. And now this is especially true if you're living in a country that doesn't speak the language. But even if you are, the more intentional you are with your inputs, the better your outputs will be. So for example, if you know you're going to scroll on your phone, be intentional with the inputs. So what I mean by that is that you want to follow pages or accounts that speak the language you want to learn. If you know that you spend a lot of time in your room, then add sticky notes all over your room, labeling the objects in the language you want to learn. Because the more intentional you are with your inputs, the more you will be able to control your outputs. And now learning a language is a journey and not a destination. I've been learning French for the last 5 years et je te jure, jusqu'à maintenant, quand je parle avec des gens, il y a des fois quand j'oublie des mots ou il y a des fois quand il y a des gens quand ils me parlent, je comprends pas. C'est normal, je te jure, c'est normal. So if you're trying to learn a language, please keep in mind that if you think you're gonna reach a stage where you're gonna be 100% fluent and you never need to practice or keep learning, then please change that mentality from trying to reach that destination to trying to enjoy the journey. Now you can have checkpoints along the way. So for example, you learned your first 100 verbs. Amazing. You were able to hold a 5-minute conversation. Great. But there's no final destination. They are checkpoints and you want to try to enjoy the way to each checkpoint. Y punto cuatro is set systems for yourself. Now from experience with both French and Spanish, I promise you, the hardest thing about learning a language isn't actually learning the language. It's getting yourself to sit down and practice and learn the language. That's the difficult part. It's not when you're learning. It's actually getting yourself to sit down and start learning. Now, what made the biggest difference for me was when I started to set systems for myself. So for example, if you like to practice your French early in the morning, then prepare everything you need to practice from the night before, so that when you wake up, you've minimized the gap between not learning the language and actually learning the language. If you know that you like to practice your French or Spanish after you come back from work, or university, then before you leave your house, have everything ready so that when you come back and you're tired and you're not as motivated as you once were, everything will be ready. When you start to set systems, you minimize the gap between inaction and action. So I promise you, setting up systems will really help you accelerate the process and you will start to minimize the gap. And also, if you find that the system you set up for yourself was doing so well at the beginning, but then it's not serving you as much, no problem. Be flexible with yourself and switch up the system. That tends to happen a lot. We get so attached to the system that we have, and then we don't want to change. Sometimes when you change the system, you'll actually switch it up and you'll feel more motivated. And now finally, language apps. Listen, some people will tell you they're amazing, use them, they will be very helpful, and some other people will tell you they're a waste of time, don't waste any time on them. Honestly, it really depends on you. Give them a shot, try it out, see if it helps you. But from my experience and from what I've seen, try not to have them as your only source of learning. You can use them to help you complement other forms of learning as well. And now I'm gonna make a video where I talk about how to maximize your learning using a language app, so keep an eye out for that one. And like I said earlier in the video, check out the links down below for my other language learning videos. I hope they can help you out. And like I always say, this is the Dibos way, find your own way. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and I hope to see you soon. Peace!